All right, everybody, welcome on in. I forgot the opening here. I screwed everything up. Let's start that. All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on into NorCal Sports Network. Everything's screwed up here tonight. I can't even get to the keys. Can't find the music. Oh, I don't know what's going on. We're live. Here we go. I don't know. Here we go. No, wrong one. It's all right. I haven't even sent Lou the great opening, isn't it? Welcome on in. Let me get Lou invited in here. I forgot everything's going on here. Hold on. Lou. All right, Lou will be with us here shortly. Welcome on in, everybody. Here we go. Golly. I'm so screwed up here with all this recent surgery here. Anyway, welcome on in. Giants win a big one today, 3-2 over the Boston Red Sox as Rafael Devers hits a bomb today. The Giants win it 3-2. Big win for the Giants. We'll get into it. We'll talk all about it. First, let us thank our sponsor of this show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in California. Give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. You got a personal injury situation, make sure you reach out to Chapman Law Group, 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. All right, like I said, Lou will be joining us shortly here. Let me get the music. There's that. Get the music. Here's Lou. Lou, I screwed everything up. The opening, I forgot to send you the invite. It's a great opening for tonight.
Sorry, you were surprised big victory. You're not sure how to prepare yourself after a big win.
And then I'm looking and I see the show was set up for 7:55. I thought it was 8 o'clock. I guess Ryan set it for 7:55. I have asked me why. I have no idea. I come into the green room at 7:57, 58, and I'm looking and so are you supposed to start? Well, it's news to me. Guys, it was 3-0 Giants all the way to the ninth inning. And I thought, is 24 Dval back? The one that Lou got kicked out of a game for? I mean, it started to look like it, right? I mean, he gives up 3 hits.
Scary. Very scary.
Oh, come on, Robert. Dval excels when he's under stress. Yeah, that's what you want. You want to make sure it's a stressful situation instead of just closing the door. Come on, Robert. You don't want stress in the ninth inning. That's called torture. Just go in there and do your job. Your ERA shot up. Everything looked bad. That's what they call not a save. They call that a skin of your teeth save. I mean, that's guy. Jeez. Dval excels when he's not pitching in the ninth, says FT4, whatever that name is, FT45H. But why is the league investigating Jelly for cheating on his wife? Seems kind of stupid to me. Yeah, I don't get that either. I mean, look, are we going to police the entire Major League Baseball? I mean, I got news for you. If the news is true, he's not the only one in Major League Baseball cheating on his wife. Okay? These guys, who knows? I don't know what these guys do. I'm not judging anything.
They all have girlfriends on the road.
Johnny says because he may have physically assaulted her. Who knows? If that's true, he's going to be in big trouble. Let's let the investigation play itself out. I've heard enough women cry abuse. That's abuse. What? Sometimes, hey, look, I do not condone any type of abuse, whether it be emotional or physical. But some people say the word abuse, and it's like, oh, he didn't pay enough attention to me tonight. He's abusive. Let's see. Let's let the investigation play out. I don't know how this works. One question I would say is, do you keep Sean Jelly on the roster? Is he going to be a distraction? I put out a tweet today of Elliot Ramos's home run. Jelly was in the bullpen. You could see him putting his arms up. He's huge. He's 6'11", and his pitching has been abused lately. Yeah. Look, like I said, I don't condone abuse of any kind, Mark Grace. And that's a true statement. Women weaken the wallet. I mean, look, she may have decided, hey, time to get out. He's in California. I don't know what state they live in, if they live in Kentucky or what. But, we don't know. Just because she put out a video on TikTok, of all places. I mean, what are you doing putting a video out on TikTok? I've talked to Sean Jelly, and I've met him, and he's been on Marty's shows. He seems like a really nice guy. You never know what people are like on their own time. But I don't know. Are you muted, Lou? Because I haven't heard you. Have you been trying to speak?
No, because you've been going, so I've just been waiting.
Oh, okay. I just want to get Mark Gray says, what are you going to share? I'd love to get your thoughts on this. I don't know what.
Sort of weird with Alex reporting it, and then the Giants have known about it. I think it was one of these things that was supposed to be sort of like left under the rug, but now it seems like there's so many reports, and usually when there's more than one, that's when it's bad. Again, we just don't know. I don't know what the Giants. I can't remember the Giants ever having a situation like this, Dan. So, I personally think, again, they might be something in the league. If it comes out, it starts getting bad. There might be like, sort of like when you have a kid, but something like this, there might be like 7 days that they can take them off, but bring them back and you don't lose the spot. I just don't know, because I've never heard of anyone on the Giants ever go through a situation like this. Have you?
Not that I recall.
Yeah.
I mean, look, this is a off the field issue. We'll be dealing mostly tonight's show with on the field, but this is an issue that was brought up. And my feeling is I would probably want it kind of like maybe in the minors. I don't know. Like, he did lose the game or help lose the game yesterday, Friday night. And, after, I don't know what they're going to do, but hey, Larry Bear, that's
he got 6 months, but that also, everyone saw the video,
right?
Where he actually struck her, stole the phone. It's a lot different when it's he said, she said. So,
yeah,
but good call there, Mark, with Larry Bear. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of it. Like I say, let it play out, but I'm definitely do not condone any kind of physical abuse, verbal abuse. Look, I mean, if he's got infidelity, not going to be the first one.
That's something different, because I think players probably out of the 26 teams probably have girls on the side, probably in about 5 to 8 of them. Now, they might just be friends, but I mean, I see it all the time at Candlestick, especially when you don't have these big crowds around and they're smaller crowds. You can sort of sneak it. Go to a team hotel. There's always, I'm not saying they're girls of the night, but they're more girlfriends, I guess, I would say, and it's just, it's part of life. And again, it happens in all sports.
Yeah. And I think it's important too. You just can't believe what one person says, just because she says it. Who knows? She may be just really upset with him and feels like it's over and she wants to tear him down. Look, it wouldn't be the first time a woman tore down a man who was innocent. Okay. Happens a lot. But again, if he is guilty of any kind of abuse, then, I'm sure it'll come out and he'll have to deal with it. But he seemed like a pretty nice family guy to me. And, they seem pretty happy, but who knows? But let's get to the game. Let's get on over to the game. The game itself was really pitched well game today by
Roop, the return of Roop.
Yeah. Yeah. Really pitched well. And let's just give him credit. He went 6 strong, didn't give up a run. Then you had Rodriguez and Rogers, Dval. I mean, you had it all set up, and Dval, you hoped it would have just played out perfectly, like boom, boom, boom. But they had to make it, what was it, tying run on third base at the end of the game?
Yeah, runner at second with only 1 out. And then, to tell you the truth, a pretty nice play at first because
by Schmidt? Yeah, backhand.
That was sort of, that could have had double written all over it. So,
hey, I said last night, Wilmer's going to sit, right, today? I like Dominic Smith playing first base. I really do. He plays very good third base. He seems like a really complimentary piece in the lineup. And Ramos, Rafi, Roop, Randy, Rogers. Yeah, the 5 R's. Yeah, there you go. As the 5 R's, and as Johnny Cesare, Zaza Pachulia says, nothing easy. Nothing easy. Remember that? What a crack up. But this game today was interesting because you had the nice shot by Devers, got backspin on it, poked it out to left field, and that was a nice shot. Aaron, you're right. Dom Smith, very soft hands at first base. He is a high IQ player. I like Smith in there. I think, Flores, we're dying to get Flores bad in there, but I like him as a pinch hitter too. I really do, because you got to have a pinch hitter at times with this lineup. You got such weakness down the end of the lineup that why do you want to bring up, wouldn't you rather bring up Flores in a position where you really needed a big hit versus chancing that there'll be guys on there during the game? I don't know. There's 2 sides to it. Flores, you want to get him more bats because he's the most productive RBI guy. So you kind of like him in the middle of the order. But you also, he seems like a really good guy to come off the bench, keep him healthier, spot play him. That's kind of how I would do it. I would spot play him by playing him at first base when you face lefties and put Devers at the DH, and then just use Wilmer as a pinch hitter when you're facing right-handed pitching so Smith can play. I think that makes the team better. And I think what we're seeing here with Casey Schmidt's growth as he goes to the plate, he's looking, he's not chasing balls like he was crazy. He's up to 253 right now, guys. And as he gets more at bats, that's going to stabilize.
And Dan, if we would have had Flores at first, that would have been a double, and probably Schmidt. If you don't have a lefty there, that's definitely down the line.
Right. Yeah.
So we got to give Melvin credit since we've been sort of riding him on some of his decisions to have him there in the 9th. That was big.
I think Casey might have been able to dive and get it because he's.
I don't know. That thing was launched. I thought it was tattooed.
The one down the line in the 9th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think
we don't have to know about it. I'm just bringing that up. Which is, having the lefty. And without Lamont, who's no longer with us, we don't really have a lefty. So, Yeah, and guys, no, we're not going to do a 6-year extension with Dominic Smith. I mean, the guy's only been here a month. We've seen what happens when new guys come to the
No one
Giants.
said
They start
6
off.
year.
Yeah,
No,
I think it was
that
a
had to be a
joke.
joke.
151 million. Where
was
it?
that?
NorCal 814.
Oh, that's a joke. That's a joke. NorCal likes to joke.
Yeah. Okay.
Hit that like button, everybody.
Yeah, Dan, I thought today the key thing is, and it was funny because we both texted each other when this happened. Devers showed you what a professional hitter is. He took that ball, saw where it was, took it the opposite way, and made it over pretty easy. And, we needed it. If he doesn't get that run, we wind, again, you can't say what's going to happen in the night. It's going to be the same. But you guys got to remember, the Giants only got 4 hits total. Again, 4 total hits, which is sort of hard to believe.
4 hits? Let's see.
Yeah.
I know we know Devers had one, and we know Ramos had one, and Casey had one. Who was the 4th hit? Let me take a look. MLB scores. Diamondbacks lead the Rockies right now 5-3 up in Colorado in the 8th inning. And we'll look at the box score today. The Giants, who got the 4th hit, it was none other than Dominic Smith. Yeah. Smith hitting 298. Look at this. Yaz hitting 254, Devers 267, Ramos 282, Adames 204, Smith 298, Schmidt 253, Johnson 190, along with Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's 233. Wow. And Kinzer 083. What does he have? Like 1 or 2 hits in the whole season? And then Bailey's been horrible. And then, 4 hits. Wow. That's unreal.
And then, Dan, the other thing, too, is something that maybe sort of got overlooked today. When they tried to throw the runner out at second, I don't know if you remember that in the 9th, there was 1st and 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
One of the guys was running, huge mental error,
Yeah.
You guys, it's like, come on, and that's, again, that's coaching, and that's, you don't have Bailey there, but you don't expect the guy to throw the ball because he's not even getting close to second base.
Right.
A lot of his things are all short and everything. So, it happens. But hey, another 1-run game and they got the W. Really, that's all that matters.
Tyler Fitzgerald 10-year extension with unlimited Rogaine supply. There was I don't know the last time Fitz got a hit. I really don't. I can't remember when he got a hit, but he was up around 290, guys. So that's why it's, and he's had every day at bat. So it takes a while for his average to fall. His average falls like 1 point, maybe 2 points after every non-hit. So I'm curious where these guys, let's see. Let's just take a look at some of the at-bats on the season here for stats don't get updated till, Casey Schmidt was what today? 1 for 3, Lou? 1 for 3. He was Schmidt 1 for 3, and wow, not even a lot of guys didn't even get 4 at-bats. 1 for 3. And so he's now on the season, only had 87 at-bats. That's still very young. And think about this. Most of those bats have come in the last week and a half, 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, that's like starting a game for a month of the season. And, we've been playing since March.
Not even. That's like 20 games.
No, but I'm saying, say you get it 3 at-bats every game.
You usually get 4.
We've been playing since March. So that shows you how less time he's actually gotten.
Wow. This is an incredible stat. How much Fitz has played? He's only got 9 RBIs. 9? I mean, Casey's got 14, and he could take away 4 of those from that one grand slam, he still got more. Wow. Hey, look at Casey Schmidt. Interestingly, his OPS plus is 113, which was through yesterday's game. It probably went up a little bit. It's probably like 114 on the season. That's above average. So, yeah, all I've been saying is I don't know if he can keep it up or not. He may not keep it up, Lou. But this is what I've been promoting is let him play. And it's what I promoted for 2 years with Ramos. And, you know, this is what I don't understand about.
Just give him a shot so we know what we have. That's all you're asking.
Yeah. This is what, once Chapman's back, very solid, we just need a starter and maybe a second baseman. I think your second baseman is Schmidt, guys. At this point, I did not see Eldridge's catch yesterday. I did not see that. But, you know, what is it with the Giants that they wouldn't play Ramos? And here he is, their all-star last year. And this year he's playing close to an all-star. And then they wouldn't even give Casey a shot. What is it with this team?
Until an injury. Who do you think makes those decisions?
I don't know.
GM? Purely the GM?
Seems like it. I just don't understand. Look, I'm no professional talent evaluator, right? I'm just an average Joe like anybody else out there. But I've watched these guys play and I've seen their athleticism. You could kind of look at certain players. I mean, you take a look at Koss versus Schmidt. I mean, you could tell
it's not even close. Yeah.
Come on. Look at Ramos versus Yaz. I mean, you see the tools. You see
the crumbs. We keep these crumbs that we don't really need.
I mean,
and when they play, they don't show up.
How about Ramos versus Slater? Come on. Ramos versus Slater? Ramos versus Conforto? You couldn't see that Ramos had the makings of a guy. Just give the guy a chance. You were a crappy team for 2 years. I don't understand this. If I can see that. Now, just because I see it doesn't mean these guys are going to pan out. These guys may flop on their own. But for the Giants not to ever give these guys a shot that have these baseball tools, you know, you're graded on these, you know, 40, 45, 50, 55, 6, you know, all the way up to, you know, 80, 40 to 80. They got these tools. I mean, Casey's got an arm. What's the highest tool? 80? He's got like a 70 plus arm, right? I mean, you look at his arm, you look at, you know, he's got some power. He's probably a 50 there. I mean, you see, he's not like a speedster or anything on the base pass, but he's not, you know, he's not Wilmer Flores. I mean, the guy can move. Yeah, guys like Wisely, Koss, Fitzgerald, or Crumbs. Exactly, Zach.
I've been saying that. It's not about the money because they basically all make about the same amount of money. You know, it's not like you have a guy making $15 million a year and you got to play him because you're paying him. Just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's possible that Casey Schmidt is a trade piece. I hope not. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's teams out there that are, you know, there's a lot of teams that want a third baseman that is a Gold Glove caliber. There's not many that have them. Maybe half a dozen teams out of 30 that have a really solid third baseman that can, you know, can get you some hits and it's got some power. Yeah, trade for Cal Raleigh. Yeah, you're going to have to give up a lot for Cal Raleigh. The guy's bye-bye Eldridge for Cal Raleigh. Well, if you wanted to go for it for this year, I could see that. But Cal Raleigh he's got like 29 homers right now, leading all of baseball.
Mariners.
I got to get my back here. Ooh. Oh. Whew. 30 now, Kitchen Handy says. Okay, he hit his 30th. Cal Raleigh. Juan Soto, big day today for the Mets. Couple of homers, 4 for 4. He's starting to heat up.
And did they hit 3 in a row or 4 in a row? The Mets.
3 in a row, the Mets. I was watching that game.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now we got Dodgers. What did I do with my phone?
Yeah, Nationals up 2-1 in the bottom of the fifth.
Good. See,
Of course, my team that nobody's talking about, who I got at 18-1 to win their division, should have been more, but I still played them.
Who'd you
we've
play?
been saying Tampa Bay. They've only won 14 out of the last 16. Only a game behind the Yankees. And no superstars. As we always said before they got Buster, just take the assistant GM, whatever he is, pay him double and tell him to come to San Fran.
Yeah. Giants play it safe and stay with the nagging spouse average vet. Yep. Because of familiarity over dating someone new, young, homegrown talent. Yeah. It baffles me. I don't know what's going to happen with Matos. Are they going to give Matos a shot? Are they going to? Is he going to be just, never get the shot? I mean, these guys need consistent at bats. We've seen what Matos can do.
Kruko talked about that today with Schmidt. He goes, God, can't you guys see the difference with him playing every day? How much smoother he is. He doesn't have to overdo it. He's gotten so much better. I'm so happy that he's showing his talent, which sort of surprises me. You know what I mean? Because usually the announcers are always on the Giant side, never making him make a mistake. But he talked about that.
Well, you can see it if you can't see what his plate discipline when he's not up there chasing balls that are off the plate. Occasionally he's going to get fooled, but he was getting fooled his first year up 2 years ago constantly, and everybody was all over him. He had to go down, make some adjustments, come back up, struggled. Then at the end of the year, he 23 hit 2 home runs on the final day of the season against the Dodgers. Then last year he kept going up and down. I talked to him about it in the off season. And he said to me, it's really tough to come up to the big leagues and get a few at bats a week. And I'd lose my timing from being down in Sacramento. And then they'd send me down to Sacramento and it would take me like 15 at bats just to get my rhythm back. And then after I get my rhythm back, they'd call me back up again. Then I'd sit again. I mean, this is kind of really, really hard. And, this is why I was, preaching to the Giants, just let him play his natural position. And I mean, he just looks comfortable. He looks like, he's having fun going out to the ballpark. He's playing a position he knows. And that just makes you so much more confident because you heard them talk about Devers playing first base. Melvin was saying it's all different. It's different angles. It's different throws. It's, it's different cutoffs. It's different charging on a bunt. Everything's different. And so you can't expect a guy to learn first base just like that. But the fact that you saw Casey learn it overnight, it was like all of a sudden Casey, a month and a half ago, all of a sudden he's playing first base, boom. And then, he's doing well and he was looking good over there.
Yeah, Dan, when you were out after your surgery, when Bowa filled in for you quite nicely, I talked about that with him. Him being a ball player mentally, where you're so prepared for one position, then they make you do another one. And they just expect you to basically switch mitts, and it's that simple. And, he talked about basically, mentally challenging because now you finally conquered one position where you feel confident in. You go to another one, it just takes reputation. I mean, reps. Everything's different. He also brought up a great point. When you're in third base, the ball comes to you a certain way off a right-hander. Right. But when you're at first base, it's completely different. Your body, your structure, the work. So, I just think it's going to take time. And, for people that don't believe that Devers is going to play first base, he basically didn't like the way Boston handled the situation, free agency, bringing somebody in, telling him, hey, I know you're the highest paid player, but you're not guaranteed a spot. And by the way, we're not even going to give you the spot. We want you to go to first. But, start DA. It was a bad communication. That's, something different where, I assume Buster sat down with them and said, listen, we already, as Dan would say, we already have a Gold Glove third baseman. We want you to DH till you get comfortable, but we'd like you to, come at first base. Is that okay with you? And there's a different way to approach what the Giants did compared to Boston. So,
yeah, this
I'm
Tribe,
not worried.
I appreciate you being in the chat, but this would be an all-time disaster move. You would weaken two positions. I mean, you would have Luciano playing shortstop that is not a good fielding shortstop, and Adames, who's never played first base. What would be the reason behind that? I don't get that move. That would be like you would be just going from a good defensive team to a poor defensive team. So, bold prediction. Giants will package Eldridge for Skeens. The fact that the team and its proxies are putting out Eldridge Devers first base quandrum now makes it seem they're likely priming the fan base. That's an
I wouldn't even think twice about that.
I wouldn't either, man. Could you imagine? Yeah. Could you imagine?
The problem with Skeens, you got him for what, 2 more years, and you're gonna have to pay more money. It's hard.
No. Lou. You got him for 4 more years. He's not eligible till after 6 years. This is only his second year. He's not eligible for arbitration after 6 years. You got 6
and
years.
And you'd be fine because the other guys would finally be down at the end of their contracts. Okay. Yeah, no, I would do it without even thinking. Because we don't even know about Eldridge. We know about Skeens. Big difference.
Can you imagine?
But it's going to take a little bit more than just Eldridge.
Could you imagine Skeens Skeens, Webb, and Ray?
Ray. Now you're talking.
But you got to think about it, Mark. I hear you from a Jersey standpoint and all of that and fans, but think about, he is a generational talent. But think about what long run for the Tigers. Skeens is not going to be sticking around in Pittsburgh. 3 years from now, he'll be on his. Actually, when do you get to become arbitration eligible? How does that?
And again, I don't know, because did he even play? Did he play a week in the minors, or did he come straight up to the pros? That's why I'm not sure about.
I can't even remember
how that all worked, because he basically got drafted and then he was here.
I'll look it up. I need to eat a burger, huh, Sean?
But the other thing too about Pittsburgh is they can't afford. They're such a small market team. They can't afford to pay him. So
right.
And he's never going to be higher. So that's why, we're always thinking like that.
Right. Let me see something here. If we were to do hold on, let me check something here. Paul Skeens cannot be a free agent until after the 29 season. He will reach arbitration eligibility in the 27 season. So 29 seasons, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. So they got him for 4 more years. So in 3 years, they're going to be looking at the talk's going to be, where's he going to get traded to? Because he's not going to, not going to sign long-term in Pittsburgh, right? So what do they do? But that would be a major move. I don't know. I would love to. Oh, wow. I mean, some of these young hitters that are coming up, guys like Jack Caglione and Nick Kurtz with the A's, they're mashing the ball.
Mashing.
Giants.
Sean, I never lost Sacred Heart, and I dated a girl that went to Cathedral, part of Sacred Heart's territory for 4 years. So I even got them with their women, so didn't really affect me at all. Never lost them in sports, and I got their hottest girl, so it happens.
Were you abusive, Lou?
I was not.
So wait a minute. You went to where again?
SI, St. Ignatius.
St. Ignatius, and you got the Sacred Heart girls.
Yeah, so Sacred Heart, when I went to SI, it was all boys. Sacred Heart was all boys. But Sacred Heart had a girls' school across the street.
Hey, Ryan, hold on
Cathedral.
one sec. Hold on one sec. Ryan, can you take care of this? I don't know what's going on. Check out Fosse. He says under his name Fosse, he's muted. So that shouldn't be happening here in NorCal Sports Network. We only mute one guy. And he knows who that is. I don't even know if maybe we unmuted him. I don't know. So Ryan will get that taken care of, Fosse. So anyway, you were telling the story. I'm sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, no. So I went to an all-boys high school. Sacred Heart was an all-boys high school. Los D knows. And then across the street from them, they had an all-girls school named Cathedral. And me and a couple guys were going to see this other girl. And I went, oh, my God, who is that? And she was a girl whose dad worked for Bechtel, so she was a couple years older. So I hung out at Cathedral, which was, when you're in high school, you think you're sort of a, badass. But, I got along with the Sacred Heart guys, never had a problem. And, they sort of respected me because, like, damn, you pulled her. And I said, yes. And, 4 years later, I know a lot of the guys and played team club with a lot of them. And, you see them all around the city. You sort of laugh how you used to hang out in high school thinking you were badass when none of us were anything. But,
did Los go to SI too? Did Los go to SI?
No, he went Sacred Heart.
He
went Sacred Heart.
Okay, so a battle here. And Los says, well, in fairness to Lou, I dated a Mercy and an ICA. What's ICA?
Immaculate Conception Academy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't know many guys from SI that dated, but Mercy was sort of like our girls' school. And Mercy is SI territory. So, Los understands, and when you look back, it was complete BS, we were known as the
it's kind of like me when I was at, I was at Clayton Valley and I dated a girl at Mount Diablo High School. And when we played their football team, her ex-boyfriend wanted to plow me, right? And I was the place kicker. And they came, I guess, I don't even know if he came after me, but I had all my guys protecting me. That was pretty cool. But then, I had a girlfriend at Mount Diablo High School and Concord High School. It's kind of funny.
Anthony, no, Common to the Sacred Heart. No, they were just called Cathedral. Common to the Sacred Heart. When I was in grammar school, I went to a grammar school called Sturt Hall, where you had the high school of Common to the Sacred Heart and the grammar school. So when I was like in 7th grade, I was dating sort of a freshman in high school.
Yeah. And Mark Gray says, and the rest of us who didn't go to school in San Francisco don't care. Yeah. Well, I want to get to tomorrow's ball game because tomorrow it is.
See if we can win the series.
Isn't it Robbie Ray tomorrow? Who's going tomorrow?
Yes, Robbie Ray against Giolito.
Giolito. All right, that should be a pretty good battle.
Yeah.
And this was a huge game today, guys. Giants had to come out and win this game because if they had lost today's game, they would have been 1-4 with Rafi, Devers, and lost 2 in a row to Boston. I kind of had a feeling that this club was going to bounce back the way Aroldis Chapman said something to Flores last night. That fires a team up. When you're walking off your home field in a loss and you get kind of skunked by the visiting team, and then they kind of, it leaves a, it's motivating. It's like, okay, guys, Chapman, to me, whatever, I don't know if it made any impact on today's game, but I would think those guys were ready to play, and, it's just, why can't we hit, Lou? Why can't we string together hits? Why can't we get a 10-hit game?
I think it's amazing. I mean, you watched the game today, and when I told you we only had 4 hits, you go, "Are you sure?" I thought we had about 7 or 8 with all those runs.
You know what I'm going to do for fun here? I'm just going to go through today's games and tell you what's going on. Diamondbacks up 5-3, bottom of the ninth. They had 10 hits. Yep. Rockies had 7. Angels playing the Astros. Okay. Angels got 10 hits. The Astros only got 3. Guardians have 8 hits to the A's 2. Nationals and Dodgers each have 5 hits through 6. Tigers lost to the Rays. That Rays team you're talking about doing pretty well. 8 hits and 6 hits. Yankees got 14. Orioles only got 1. Clark Schmidt threw a no-hitter through 7 today and was pulled after 103 pitches, which probably a good decision in the long run. I mean, the Yankees are without Garrett Cole, and they're without Lucas Heel, or however you say his name, Heel, the Rookie of the Year last year. So they need Clark Schmidt the long haul. They don't need him going out and throwing 130 pitches and being no good for the rest of the year. Brewers had 11 hits. Twins only had 4. Cards 9. Reds had 8. 14 for the Mariners, 9 for the Cubs. That was a hitter's game, 10-7. But Giants, I mean, we could go back and look at the Giants game after game after game.
Look at Friday night's games. Here, I got them up. So I just wanted to tell you, these are just the final scores, and I'll tell you it's runs and then hits. Mariners beat the Cubs 9-4. 13 hits, 9 hits. Rangers win 6-2. 13 hits, 10 hits. Orioles beat the Yankees 5-3. 11 hits, 10 hits. Rays beat the Tigers 14-8. 16 hits, 8 hits. White Sox beat the Blue Jays 7-1. 9 hits, 7 hits. And it gets worse. Wait. Miami beats the Braves 6-2. Both teams had 9 hits. Phillies beat the Mets 10-2, 13 hits to 7. The Brewers beat the Twins 17-6, 19 hits to 5. Diamondbacks beat Colorado 14-8, 21 hits to 12. KC beat the Padres 6-5. Each team had 11 hits. I mean, it's just one of those things. We're just not hitting. It's sort of incredible.
That's interesting. I looking here at the standings, my hats, I'm going to have to change them around, but my back's a little stiff, so I don't want to stretch too much. Not supposed to do any bending, lifting, or twisting right now, so I'll probably leave those hats alone, but we'll pull up the standings here right after Sean's super chat. Lou, Reardon is co-ed. They're the best in sports. Reardon won the state championship in basketball this year, didn't they? Or second? They finished second.
They won NorCal, but they got smoked by 28 here. And then, as I say all the time, Reardon High School, the principal, his name is Reardon. The principal of Reardon is Mr. Reardon. So, former SI guy.
Former SI guy. Let's take a look at the standings here. In the American League, the Yankees and the Rays are catching them there. Look at that. And the Blue Jays are only 3 out, and the Red Sox, for all of their controversy surrounding the team, only 5 out. Tigers running away with the Central. Look at that. The Detroit Tigers looking like a 95-win team maybe. On pace for 100, but I don't think they'll get there. Just a gut says they don't. But they've got a 9-game lead over the Guardians, or the Indians, Cleveland Indians. Look, you can't change your name here. Nope, you're the Indians. Come on. Royals, 9.5, Twins, 10. The West, Astros over the Mariners by 5.5, Rangers 6.5. The Mets tie up the Phillies today with a victory. Identical records, 46-31. Look at Atlanta. They're coming again. They've won 7 out of 10. Told you, don't sleep on Atlanta. Giants kind of buried them a week or two ago, swept them, and they haven't played consistently, but this is a team that is full of stars. mean, you got Acuna, you got Riley, you got Olsen. That's 3 guys, right? And then you got
Your
Albies,
guy.
it's not bad. And you got Harris in center, who hasn't been playing that great this year. But Acuna's all world. Look at the Cubs, 46 and 30. And the Dodgers,
and Dan, by the way,
47.
Sale went on the DL, 14 days.
Yeah, that's right. Or IL, 15 days.
Yeah.
Used to be 14, now it's 15. Yeah. So there you go. Look at that. And let's take a look here real quick at the wild card standings. Rays on top with a 3.5 game cushion. Mariners are 4 back of the Rays. Red Sox are in the playoffs if it were to end today. Look at that. And then you've got in the National League, Phillies, Mets, virtual tie, kind of pulling away. Giants are 1 game up on Milwaukee and St. Louis. Padres have fallen out. Diamondbacks are right there. Look at this, guys. This is going to be tough. And all the way down to the Braves. All the way down to the Braves.
And by the way, Dan, next homestand, we play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday against Philly. Take a day off, and then we have 3 with the Dodgers. So the next homestand, it's going to be tough.
Look at this, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 teams from the Braves fighting for 3 spots. And we still have a little bit more than half the season to go.
And Dan, one of the things I wanted to point out, because we did this a couple of weeks ago, if you look at Atlanta, they're 35 and 40, right? So they started off 0 and 9 to begin the season. Right. We started off 8 and 1. So they've actually been playing.
Oh, we're 9 games. So we're only 2 games over 500 since then, and they're basically 2 over. Wait.
Just want to bring that up. The long season.
Yeah, we're 2. Let's see. The Giants are 9 over. Started out 8 and 1. Let me update that. Giants started out 8 and 1. They're 43 and 34. So the Giants are $30. You know what? Look at this. I'll put this up here. We haven't done this in a while. But hold on here. 35. Since the look at that, Lou. Since the 8 and 1 start, the Giants are 35 and 33. See that?
It's 35 and 31 in the same time.
Who, the Braves?
The Braves.
Yeah. So, the Giants start, they've hung around, but they really haven't taken off. They haven't been able to, they got to 40 and 29. They were 11 over. And right now the Giants are 9 over. I want to see him push that thing up, Lou, to ideally, 15 over at the break. But whether they can get there with that schedule you mentioned up, you got Philadelphia and the Dodgers coming on the next homestand after. Let's see, we got the Marlins and then the Giants. Let's talk about that because schedule does play a big role. After this next homestand, they've got a chance to really you know, Arizona's not easy. It's a 4-game series, but you got the White Sox in front of that. You got to go into Chicago and win 2 minimum, but ideally you go into Chicago. Look, what the Giants really need to do right now, they've got Boston tomorrow and then their day off. Then they got Miami for 3 and the White Sox for 3. They need to win out of the next 7 games. They need to go 6-1. 6-1. If you can somehow, one of those has got to be a sweep, either Miami or the White Sox. And win tomorrow. Win tomorrow and go 6-1. 5-2 would be the minimum. You go 4-3 in these next 7 games, you're still treading water again. You're just holding the line. While what you have to worry about when you're going 4-3, you got to worry about teams behind you going 6-1. Teams like Atlanta, that's how they grow. They catch you. Giants have to beat up on these teams that are, young and not good teams.
Yeah, I mean, this, like I said, the schedule till July 13th, it's brutal. Brutal.
Well, Miami and the White Sox, those are, you go into Arizona, you should be able to split with Arizona. And then you go to Sacramento. It's practically a home game for you. You're playing the A's. Not easy, but then you got Philly and LA at home. Now, that's a 6-game homestand. There, you hope to at least play 500, right? Play 500 ball, at least, Philly and LA.
But then after that, you go to Toronto, who's playing good for 3. Then you go to Atlanta, who's playing good for 3. Then you come home and you play the Mets.
Right.
So it's,
and then you got the trade deadline.
Yeah.
You got the trade deadline right at the end of July here.
Yeah.
So
and then you go on a tough road trip where you go to New York and Pittsburgh.
Right.
We got to win series. That's what we got to do.
Yep. Yeah.
Can't lose tomorrow because that's 3 straight series.
Yeah, you got to win. Got to win the series. Got to just, win. How many series left with the Giants after tomorrow? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 27 more series. 27 more series. So if you can win
15,
18,
oof, okay.
That's, some of them are 4 games, so you might split. But if you can win 18 series, figure that's at least 2 wins. That's 36 wins. And then you just got to win the series that you're supposed to win and don't get swept in the series you're not favored. That's the formula. And the formula, I've always said the formula is play 500 ball on the road and win 50 games at home. You win 50 games at home, you go 50-31. What is that? 50 divided
92
by
wins for the season.
81, 617 ball. So you don't even have to win 2 or 3 at home. Just play 617. 50, and if you go on the road,
41
if
wins.
you win 40, if you win 40 and go 40-41, you're 90 wins and 72. You're going to be in the playoffs. Yeah. That's the formula. Win 50 games at home, play 500 on the road. Yep. Oh, yeah. When the Dodgers pitching gets healthy, it's just going to be like, they're just going to be like, if you ever saw the
Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, the Roadrunner. And who was it with the Roadrunner? Was it the Roadrunner and Bugs Bunny or
No,
no?
Bugs Bunny when he played baseball against the giant. Right,
yeah,
you know.
Beep, beep, yeah. Me, me. Me, me. Pew, gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
the last 3 players with 30-plus home runs in the first 75 games, Bonds in 01, Luis Gonzalez in 01, and Cal Raleigh. Oh, are we saying that Cal Raleigh's doing roids? Maybe. Is there a correlation there? Because we know the first 2 guys were, right?
yeah, he beat Johnny Bench's record today, the fastest catcher for 30 homers.
Wow. Let's get a Wile E. Coyote. That's it. The Coyote. You know, me. Good old Wile E. Coyote. Yeah, that's kind of what the Dodgers are probably going to do. They're going to blitz everybody in the second half. And
let's just stay as close in the wild card then.
Yeah, let's just keep plugging away. Keep plugging away.
Yep. All right.
Well, we got any more comments in here, guys?
Oh, just a reminder tomorrow, Dan, you're doing your show. You're going to have 2 shows tomorrow, one at 4. You're doing one at 4 and then the Hot Corner at 8. You're doing one with Larry and
Larry and Marty Lurie.
Marty at 4.
Larry, Marty, and who else is on that show tomorrow,
Eric.
Ryan?
Eric, I believe, is with you guys.
Yeah, I think it's Eric. I think it's Eric, Larry, Marty.
Hopefully you have a win, so you have something to talk about.
Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be very nice. Yeah, I could actually sit though now without the sciatic pain. It's nice.
There you
go. The only pain I got right now is where my back got sliced up. You know, it's like I can feel it back there, but it's nice to sit down on a cushion and not be like, sitting on that nerve. Man.
Yeah, Larry was on the East Coast. One of his kids graduated, so he's been sort of traveling and a family gathering. You know, Larry's allowed to take time off. He has a life. Last time I looked,
he's been back in Connecticut. Yeah,
yeah.
His sister lives in the town next to where I used to live in Connecticut. Yeah, very nice area, Farmington, Connecticut. I lived in Avon, Connecticut, which was where a lot of the personalities from ESPN, like Mike Golick, used to live in Avon, and so a lot of those on-air guys used to live over there. I don't know how I got into the town, but
Johnny, I am not nervous yet. I have not hedged. I'm hoping the late money goes, and I might just. I mean, I make $2,350 if Indy wins, so I can maybe take the money line, maybe lay 500 to win 200. But you know, it's sort of hard. I don't really know what to do. It's only a $25 bet, but it's so much at 125 to 1. So
25 wins you how much?
223, like 12.50 cents.
And what would
Indy wins?
And if OKC, how much can you bet? How much
I
can
think
you
it's
hedge?
going to be a close game. So
it's going to be a close game. Game sevens are
and the spread's
close.
7.5, and the money line is 270. So I could bet $810 the other way, and I'd win 300 guaranteed. Well, 275 because I lose a 25, but I'd be guaranteed to win money. Or I could just say I'm only missing 20. You know, it's only $25. Sort of what I'm hoping. And this is something that a guy who is a pretty good player, he goes, hey, how about this? How about the game starts and Indy goes up like 10 to 1 to start the game? And you have a timeout, Oklahoma City, right? And then all of a sudden you now have a chance where it could be, you know, it would be Oklahoma, you know, on the money line might just be 120 to win because they got to come back from 9 points. Then you hedge that way in game. You know, maybe bet 500 where you're guaranteed to win 500. You know, it's hard. It's a tough thing.
Dallas says, let it ride.
It's $25. You know, I mean, God, I could buy a square right now and I get $5 back. You know?
Oh, Kyle, his mom had the hip surgery. Yeah. Hope she's doing well, Kyle. Lou, in golf, I have Fleetwood, Bradley, and Henley all pre-worst case scenario is Fleetwood wins, and I flipped 24 into 840. Wow.
Yeah, golf's tough. I lost last weekend. I had two golfers.
Golfing is so hard to bet on.
And the problem is they were all tied last week on the 15th hole. And I was thinking, oh my God, and then of course, golf's tough. That's why the odds are so incredible. Never bet the favorite.
Yeah. Philip was waiting for the show today at 4:00 and he thought Larry was late. Yeah. Just 24 hours late. Yeah. No, tomorrow, 4:00. Should be
That's why you got to subscribe. Then like tonight, you guys would have thought we started at 7:55.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Ryan, with the 7:55 were we trying to, I that was such an odd time. I didn't even look. I just figured 8:00. Then, hey guys, just a little change, just kind of a PSA announcement for my chat here, because very important to with the news tonight that the United States bombed a few key sites in Iran. Couple of notes out there I've seen on Twitter. Keep your head on a swivel. Biden let millions of people into America. Iran might activate some sleeper cells against Americans. Stay armed. Another one, Iran may now activate violent sleeper cells in the U.S. Stay armed when you go in public. Report things that seem unusually off. Defend the homeland. And just keep your head on a swivel when you're out there. Not saying anything's going to happen. Who knows? But we just got to
be proactive.
Got to be aware. Got to be protective. Got to be aware. Yep. So, yeah, they did use the bunker busters. Those
the doubles.
Yeah. So, stay armed in public is the dumbest response ever. I don't know if they meant stay armed by having be carrying or meant
I think just be alert.
Be alert might be maybe a better use of the word instead of armed. But it doesn't help if you can carry, just to, pack and carry. But,
All right, well, let's get the W tomorrow. Dan, we're glad you're healthy. Good luck tomorrow doing 2 shows. We got the hot corner. Chad, hey, with having a new superstar, don't expect these squares to last, I think, past this week. The Giants are going to come back. There's been a lot of stuff. When Borat spoke, it's almost like playoff baseball here. We have made Dan's thing. We have made Oracle Park a destination for players and fans. As you saw today, another sellout. Tomorrow's a sellout.
Hey, it's great to see the place packed. I don't know if you guys saw some of the drone shots today.
Oh, yeah.
I have put on my website. Let me show you. Not my website, my Twitter. Let me show you some. I can't believe how many views I am getting. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about here.
And they're better in the front row, too. I just wanted to point that out, Dan.
Yeah. Okay, check this out, guys. I took a picture on the TV screen today. Look at that. Unbelievable drone pictures of Oracle Park in San Francisco, Major League Baseball's most beautiful ballpark. Look at that shot. Is that gorgeous? Look at how many views I've got. 31,000 people have viewed this thing on Twitter. Look at that. That's just unbelievable. I put some more shots. Look at this ballpark. Look at that. Is that stunning or what? I mean, this is just San Francisco should be proud of that stadium. That place should be. This is why I was so adamant about this team going out and being creative and getting stars and figuring a way, Lou. This ballpark from 2010 to 2016 was sold out every day.
Every game. Remember they like 397 straight games?
Yeah. I mean, 80 times 6 is 6 years. 80 times 6 is what, 480? I
Yeah.
think they were sold. I mean, you think about that place rocking. And I love the day games. I think they should have night games on Friday, day games on Saturday and Sunday. And I think they should have, like, when they have a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday series, or a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, just make one of them a night game. Have day games at that ballpark. It is, the ball carries better.
Yep.
And I think you draw better in the weekdays on the day games than you do the night games.
Yeah, it'll be a test on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Miami's not a big draw, but the way the Giants are and the attitude, I don't care what they say. Guys, I've been to these games. There's like 10,000 people, even though they say there's 21. The other thing, too, is just go on StubHub and see how many tickets are being sold. I mean, it's amazing. It's almost like the whole ballpark is on StubHub, and, people either trying to make the money or they don't want to go out. But, right now, hey, you got a playoff team. When we started our predictions and everything, we were just hoping we were in binocular distance, but we're there.
Who had Rafael Devers on their bingo card in June?
Nobody.
For the Giants.
Yeah.
Come on, that's pretty amazing that they were able to pull that off.
I think Guerrero was the only free agent we thought, or Tucker, we could pull. And that was
somebody asked the question: do you think they'll go after Tucker in the offseason? I would think they wouldn't, because I feel like they're not as aggressive as I would like them to be.
Yeah, I think he's staying with the Cubs because he loves it there.
I would think the Giants would want to look at Boston, maybe looking at Tucker. They may look at doing so. Who knows?
Yeah,
it's gonna be crazy.
I think the trade deadline with so many teams as you went tonight are so close to the wild card, both leagues. It's going to be a frenzy.
Build a wall. There's a shorter distance in right center field, of course. Made you look. Did we talk about Devers, Philip, on this podcast?
I did.
You did, Lou?
Yeah. Let's
Clayton
go after
said
him.
He said it. Okay. Well, when we had the trouble with Boston, when he started having trouble, yeah. Look, the Giants is going to be look.
The summer, the ballpark is the place to be again, guys. You got a chance to get out there for $20. Don't let it slip away.
I would love to see
And
the
it's a Friday
Giants
night.
become the destination place. Go get another star.
And for people in the chat on the West Coast, just so you know, I heard from a very reliable source when Tucker and the Chicago Cubs come to town. I just heard it from a source that some of the guys from Hot Corner are going to be at the game on that Tuesday night. I was just told that from a pretty reliable source. So when the Cubs come on that Tuesday game, some of the guys from the Hot Corner are going to be at the game. So if you're there and you want to join us for a cocktail, let us know.
I think 3 of the 4 are going to be there.
That's what I heard from a pretty reliable source.
I think 3 of the 4 are going to be at the Hot Corner. I mean, from the Hot Corner are going to be near the Hot Corner.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, guys, just a little heads up. We've got a little trip planned here for August 20th. I'm talking to you, Cliff Martinez. That's right. I'm talking to you, Cliff Martinez. I know you're close by. And I think Aaron may be involved in this. Los, if you're out there, get your ticket. It's time to head over to San Diego. August 20th, Giants, Padres for a day game. And then on the 21st, a Friday, and 22nd, Del Mar with a suite
A box on the finish line.
A box right at the finish line, guys. We have room for about three more. So,
and we already made reservations for Friday night after the races for dinner on the water. In case you guys want to join us, let us know.
Yeah, San Diego. Cliff, I know you're close. Little ride down the coast. Come to the Padres Giants game, and then we got Del Mar racing. Should be fun. 50-50 for the Del Mar game. Okay. Or for the Del Mar days. Okay. Well, we got to figure out that Giants game, our tickets. Have we heard back yet?
I put my call in. I put my call into the Giants on Thursday. So I'm going to rearrange them on Monday and talk to him.
All right. Aaron says he's in. I think his ticket is several bags of cookies.
First of all, Aaron, I heard you were at the game yesterday. And then I also heard from a very reliable source that the broadcast of the team somehow got some cookies, and we're talking about it. So I don't know if it's true, but I heard that the broadcasters received some of your cookies from Bake That Dough, and I heard you were at the game and you made an appearance. Sorry the Giants didn't come through, but hopefully you had fun at the game. Nothing like a Friday night game.
Did it get announced at the did it get announced on the TV? I didn't hear them talk about the cookies. Did we hear anything?
I didn't hear anything. I just heard that from a reliable source that they had tickets in the broadcast booth somehow. I don't know.
Cookies. I kind of helped arrange that. But see, that's not the one we want right there. We want the other one. Hold on. We wanted this one. Here it is. I don't know if I can play the music. Well, hold on. I don't know if I can do the music. What's going on? Hold on. Oops. Anyway, there was a little showing there. But, Eric got some cookies. Okay, there we go. I know Eric and Ibrahim were there last night. Yeah, we did get 5 runs last night. Not enough to win. But I'm telling you, reminds me, he says, I'm telling you right now. Whenever I hear that, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. That man is not real. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, the girl in the plane.
Oh my gosh. Telling you right now, I was just there at game. We get down there 2.5 hours for the game. San Diego is owning entertainment. Hey, the Gaslamp District is hopping. They have made that place incredible.
A destination for fans.
It is a destination. How about you watch a Padres Dodger game on a Monday night with packed house on a Monday night? Giants need to start packing this place out. It's the second half of the season starting here, the next homestand. The next homestand, you will be playing in the second half. The Giants need to be packing the place
Philly
out.
And the Dodgers, every game should be sold out.
Yeah, but it won't be against Philly.
And there'll probably be more, it seems like more Philly fans in the crowd than the Giants fans. Because, it's the one time the Phillies show up. I just hope the Dodgers don't take over Oracle like they did last year.
Yeah.
But I do know Dan is very excited for the big Saturday night clash when they give away Bond's bobblehead.
I got to see how I'm doing in 2 weeks. Make sure my back is good enough. I don't want to go twisting and diving for a foul ball if it's coming at me. But I'm hoping to make one of those games. I know Los might be able to make it there. We'll see. So, all right. Well, let's get out of here. Get out of here. And we will be back tomorrow.
Twice tomorrow. Yeah.
Twice tomorrow. Yeah. 2 times on Sunday. So we got a 4:00 show tomorrow. Larry Kruger, Marty Lurie, Eric, and myself. keep it right here on NorCal Sports Network. And we'll change Posey's title, King of the Giants. There we go. So tomorrow
we have one more super chat supposedly that we might have missed.
Let's see, 4:00 tomorrow, and then 8:00. Is it this one? Making the wild card is like the play-in. Making the NLDS is what I would consider success this year as we build. There we go.
Yeah, good one.
Yeah. Thank you, Propa. So tomorrow we'll be here at 4, and then we'll be at 8. And let's see if we can get the right song here tonight, Lou. I messed up the entire entry. Here we go. There we go. We'll let this play. This will go for a couple minutes. We'll get ourselves out of here. We'll put your last minute chat. It's up. It was a Propa super chat. Oh, you remember that, huh? You've been around NorCal Sports Talk Live. When I say Larry, you say Kruger. Do you remember that when I was out in the bleachers?
Bleachers, I remember that. That was 2 years ago.
Gosh.
When you guys
I
started.
don't know where that is. I used to have that in here.
Eric might have it.
I don't know if we.
Yeah, that was like a Tuesday night game. You know, where the bleachers, it was just like your section.
Yeah, my wife was over standing far away, just like shaking her head, going like, what's going on here?
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't even drinking, guys. I don't drink, so I was not drunk. I just like to have a good time. Why do we not have that in here? We used to have that. Did that get taken out? We'll have to add that back in. It's too bad we don't have that in here anymore. What do we got? Final chats. We might have to reconsider that policy. Okay. Kyle says, I'm telling you, if I was Giants ownership, I'd have a massive hole through that apartment building with balconies so you can sit in a bar and eat food and watch from 15 stories up. Yeah. Big win tomorrow is needed. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That Asian guy, he was pretty wiped out. He was, Larry Kruger. That was wild.
Yep.
That was wild. All right. Johnny's expecting a Robbie Ray gem tomorrow. He hasn't pitched that great the last couple outings, so he's due.
No. Yeah.
He's due. Good night, Kyle. Well, guys, it's been fun.
Perfect.
Always fun when the Giants win.
Yeah.
And join us on the 26th of August. Don't forget, we'll be there. Giants Cubs. You're at the ballpark. Come say hello. Have a great night, everybody.